quest on how to make bowlies. Here's some of my manly bowlies. Today I'm going to be making some more bowlies. So let's get started. First thing one of the first things is that we need to use cotton only thread. I keep mine separate in a case that I have marked cotton only with the bobbins enclosed with the thread. Next, 100% cotton batting with no skim. It's a little hard to find, but you can find it. I stopped buying the heat one from Joann's. It was too thick, and sometimes it was uneven, and it could be like really thick in certain spots. So I just buy like a twin size or crib size and cut it myself. And this is cut 9 by 9. You'll need 2 for each bowlie. The fabric must be 100% cotton. You'll need 2 for each bowlie. It's cut 10 by 10. And if you're not sure, just press it with a very, very hot iron and you'll know if it's not 100% cotton. Another thing I'd like to mention is that it's best to do these more than one at a time. I mean, you're going to need more than one and you're going to give more than one. So batch sewing is the greatest thing for this project. I've already threaded my machine with 100% cotton thread. I have my walking foot on. If you don't have one, you'll just probably need to increase your stitch length. So let's get started. Heat erase pen is helpful. This is going to be my stitching line. I'm going to pin the 4 sides and keep going. Be right back when I get all of these done. Okay, I'm ready to start sewing. I'm going to sew corner to corner on the diagonal here. And your bobbin thread will show, so make sure it's the color you like. Contrasting, blending, whatever you want to do. Okay, I'm going to start change pieces. Given all these a quick press. The lines are gone. Right side, wrong side. Now this will hold the batting in place so it won't slip around. And we'll be able to go on to the next step. Now I'm folding these in half. When I fold them in half, I make sure I pull right here and make sure there's not a wrinkle. And then I pin it. And then I'm going to take my little ruler. I'm going to take my friction pin. And I'm going to mark 1 inch, 1 inch by 2 inch, and make a little line. So 1 by 2. You can use your mat if you want, and I'm going to make a line. Do that on both sides. 1 by 2. This is going to be our dart. If you want to see how big that's going to leave the bottom of your bowl, your bowlie for a bowl, what you can do is pin it on the line. Open it up, and that'll give you an idea, because you're going to do it again on the sides. That'll give you an idea of the amount of room for a bowl, and you decide whether to make them deeper or narrower or longer from there. All right, I'm going to finish marking the rest of these so I can batch sew. I have marked all my darts. And yes, it does take a while. Now I'm going to sew these darts, back stitching, and I'm going to batch sew these too. Chain piece them, however you'd like to call it. And I just start here, back stitch, and go. Back stitch, load another one in. That's it. Okay, half of one side is done. Now I'm going to turn around, do the other side. Then I'm going to unfold them and mark the other side. So, yeah, it takes a while, but my friend Pam, who got me started on these many years ago, had a secret on how to do these darts faster. So perhaps we can get her to tell us her secret. That would be nice. Right, Pam? Okay, I'll be back. Both darts are sewn on this side. So what I'm going to do now is unpin all these. And then I'm going to fold them in the other direction and start all over. That's why these take a while. I'm going to refold them in half, right sides together. Definitely make sure you pull this, make sure it's smooth in there. Repin them, both sides, and do the darts again, both sides, for all of these. That's why I batch sew these. They take a long time. You need 2 for each bowlie. You're going to want to do them all at once, or as many as you can at once. Okay, I'll be back. Okay, got the other side done. See, it's kind of folded funny, but I pinned it so they'll stay in place. Now I'm going to run these through the same way I did before, batch sewing them, and then I'll show you the next step. And like I said, sewing more than one bowlie at a time really does make a big difference. Okay, I got all the pins out. They're all done. Now all I need to do I'm going to take my scissors and trim. 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 And trim. And then I'll give them a quick press. Well, a somewhat quick press. I'll be back. Now, as you can see, I trimmed these a little more than 1/4 inch, about a 1/4 inch on all of them. Now you can press these one of 2 ways. You can press them on a ham like this, and you can try pressing them open like this. Or you can just do it the quick way and just give them a press. This batting is nice enough and thin enough. It doesn't have any weird bulky places like the last batting I have that heat. I forget what it's called. It was from Joann's. It was made for, I think, baked potato bags. You all know what that is, don't you? It was so lumpy, and some of them was so thick that, yeah, I definitely press them open then. This is going to help them nest together better. But this is faster if you don't want to press those seams open. But if your batting is real thick, I would press them open. You don't need to sew them down, just press them open. Another thing you can do, if you don't like the pointy ends, you could round the corners. Those look really cute. Just another step. And you don't have to use 2 different fabrics for your bowlies. You can just make them with all one fabric, or each one with one fabric. And since you need 10 inches for this size, you would need more than a 1/4 yard of fabric if you were to buy fabric. You could use a fat quarter. That would be wide enough. You can use 10-inch squares. These were some 10-inch squares that were kind of wonky. That's what I'm using. Love that iron. All right, I suggest pins for this next part, but you do you. I'm going to put them right sides together. We're going to match up the seams. If you didn't press them open, just push one to one side and one to the other side and pin the seam. And pin the corners. Just keep matching the sides. Ow. This is right sides together. And as you're doing this, you're going to think of where I want to leave an opening. So when we sew around this, we're going to have to leave an opening for turning it right side out. Not one of the most fun parts. So I could just come around here and look and see, where do I want to leave an opening? Well, let's just do it here. So I will put a red pin, big fat red pin. To remind me where the opening is. Okay, you don't want it too close to the end or too close to your double seam there. Okay, then we're just going to sew, back stitch, back stitch, back stitch, all the way around. Very good back stitch, because when you're pulling this through, it's thick. Okay, and you're going to do this to all of these. Okay. All right, now it's time to sew. I'm going to start here, go all the way around, back stitch, back stitch. Same stitch length, 2.5. All right, actually I have mine at 2.0. You do you. Get to these little intersections, stop and pivot. I have my needle down function on. If you have it, great. I'm just sewing just a little bit from the batting. Turn. If you happen to catch the batting, that's just fine. Pivot. my reminder pin that I'm going to turn the corner and make a few stitches, and then I'm going to back stitch. Very important. Because when we turn this inside out, it's going to take a lot of pressure. And trim those threads. Make a little snip here beside my back stitch, and a little snip here beside my back stitch, and a little trim here. That just makes it easier to tuck those ends in. You can snip the corners, or you can even take a pinking shear and go all the way around. Go in between your two fabrics, stick your hand in, go to the farthest corner, roll and tuck your corner, like that. Hold it with your thumbnail and forefinger, poke it through. See, I'm poking my corner through. Grab it and just start pulling. This is the not so fun part. That's why you want to leave a kind of good size opening, and you want to back stitch. Almost. See the batting flying off? There it goes. Then I'm gonna to poke out all my corners. I'm going to run my fingernail, a couple of fingernails down each side. Poke out the corners. They won't go out all the way. There's batting in there. Run my fingers along all the seams. Make sure they're good. Make sure the batting's laying where it's supposed to. Poke out that corner. Make sure they're all sewn real well. There. There's our opening. Either side can be bottom. These are reversible. I'm tucking in the batting. I'm not tucking it in. I'm tucking these little flaps over the batting. Kind of give it a little pull, and it wants to go that way. Give it a little finger press. I just like to use my metal pins because I can't remember which ones are glass head and which ones aren't. Now I'm going to take these to the iron and give them all a really good press, and help smush everything back down. That corner could probably come out a little bit more. Yeah. And then I'm going to top stitch all around the edge. Okay, let me go press these. Right. I have pressed, and now I'm ready to sew around the edge, about 1/4 to 1/8 inch around, probably 1/8 inch around here, and then we'll be done. And they're reversible. I'm going to go back up to a 2.5. If your batting's thicker, you might want to go to a 3. Let's see how this goes. I'm going to move my needle over as far as it'll go. It just makes it easier. I'm still pivoting at those intersections. Fuzz. That's it. Trim threads. More threads to trim, but that is it. Okay, there was a lot of steps, and you have to use 100% cotton fabric, 100% cotton batting, 100% cotton thread. But that's how you make a bowlie. And I'm going to keep sewing the rest of these that I made while my battery was charging. And I'll have 4 more ready to go when I'm ready to have them for gifts. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please let me know. And have a great day. This is Denny. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.